Hello and welcome to Season of War. Tonight, I'm joined by our infamous Ridge. Ridge, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Sorry, guys. Took a little bit of time here. I was on dinner duty, and in honor of my good friend Anthony Trentinelli, I made pasta tonight.
Nice. Very classic. Everyone loves it. Just like Skaven and Rats, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, excited to bring you guys round 5 coverage from the Slambo Grand Tournament. Was held down in Texas a couple weeks back, and we're excited to bring you round 5. This is a big heavyweight matchup. Round 5, top table. Both these players are undefeated. Fighting for first place in the tournament. I don't remember how many players there were. But there were a lot of players, 70, 90, 100, something like that. Quite a few. Anyways, lots to talk about tonight. We're going to get into the match. Our players are just finishing up deployment now. But before we get into things, I do want to give a quick shout out to our 2 primary channel partners, X Planet Games here up in Canada. And if you're in the States, you can check out Warpfire, another awesome store. Both these stores are great pillars in the community, run events, have great stock online for ordering Warhammer, and you should definitely check them out. Big thank you to them for helping us create content like we do. But anyways, again, round 5, Slambo GT. Lots going on. Obviously, big tournament. This is what you always play for, right? Be in this position.
Yeah, Sunday game 5, table 1. This is for it all. Yeah.
Yep. Well, again, Daughters of Khaine, probably not the most surprising to see at the top table in a tournament. You know, we all know they're pretty strong, but Skaven isn't as common, I wouldn't say.
No, you see some Skaven players are traditionally ones that love Skaven, not just for the lore, but they love playing Skaven. So, not traditionally the best, but Anthony's just a monster, and he's been playing this list for quite a while. The 9 Storm Fiends are not your typical Skaven list with a lot of rats and that type of thing, which we'll definitely see here. But still huge that he's able to just bring them kind of to this level.
Yeah, for sure. And on that note, just while we're still in deployment and it's like Gavin's measuring things up, do you want to take us through the Skaven list?
Yeah, I can for sure. It's not very long, so it's so he just got Thanquol with Bone Ripper, and he's running the 4 Warpfire projectors as you do. So just a ton of mortals. And then he has Skitter Leap on Thanquol, so he can Skitter Leap around the Arch Warlocks. And then he's got 2 Arch Warlocks, one with the Vigor Dust Injector, so that gives the +1 to hit to the Storm Fiends or a unit. And then Mormal Warp Power on both of them. So that is the key to this list, which Mormal Warp Power, as everyone probably knows, is just rerolling hits and wounds for a unit. So absolutely devastating on those 9 Storm Fiends. And then the battle line are 9 Storm Fiends, 5 Scryer Acolytes, and 5 Scryer Acolytes. So, like I kind of just said, the 9 Storm Fiends is one of the most damaging things in the game. So the warp fire throwers are just insane. The rattling guns are even possibly more damage with just one end. And the Scryer Acolytes actually, just to fill up battle line, but they can kind of run around, and their globes do D3 damage, and they can do some damage here and there. And then he's got rounding out just the endless spells, so the Soul Scream Bridge, obviously to bridge the Fiends, and then he's got the Warp Lightning Vortex, which a lot of people see it in KO with the boat, but it actually originally is with Skaven Endless Spell, and it's just amazing, being able to teleport an Arch Warlock, then cast Warp Lightning Vortex, and then, the Warlocks can reroll, Thankful can roll in 3d6. There's so many, things to this list, and I recently just played Anthony actually at Motor City, and yeah, it's just wild to watch him. It's really fun. It's a really fun list to watch.
Nice. Well, it sounds like our players are already into it with Skaven and Anthony finishing deployment first, and it sounds like he's given Daughters of Khaine and Gavin first turn here. Probably not surprising. As always, it's great strategy to give away first. If you can potentially get the double back, it can be pretty impactful.
Yeah, especially with this type of list, because if he gets up here, then yeah, if Skaven gets the double, it's just so much damage. And I guess I didn't say, but yeah, Anthony's clearly in a 1 drop here, so just so good if you're not threatened to be able to give away first, because yeah, it's just so much damage. So yeah, I'll be kind of not sure what Gavin's going to do here, but we will see.
Yeah, and just while we're in Gavin's turn 1 in his hero phase, let's go through his list real quick. He is playing Daughters of Khaine. He is Hagnar. This is the as Adam mentions in the chat, the old Daughters of Khaine book, it's not the recent battle tome, but there's not a ton of changes to the main core thing. Some things in the detail, but this list I don't think is too impacted. He's got a Melusai Iron Scale as the general with the Devoted Disciple trait and Mirror Dance as a spell. That's definitely wrong because it's not a wizard. No Mirror Dance. He's got a Head Queen with Blessing of Khaine, a Slaughter Queen with Catechism of Murder, and then Marathi Khaine and the Shadow Queen. So big staples there. 15 Blood Sisters, commonly known as the Bow Snakes.
Stalkers, but yeah.
Blood Stalkers, typo. Wow.
Yeah. You've never typoed
this is
before.
Our first
ever,
time,
Jordan.
definitely. First typos. And then a unit of 5 actual Blood Sisters, a unit of 10 Witch Elves, and a unit of 5 Canary Life Takers. That's all wrapped up in 2 battle regiments. So he was 2-drop here, but Anthony, again, it was a 1, so he did have choice here.
Yeah, so you can see just taking that extra hero, not being able to be in the 1-drop, was huge in this scenario, especially. But this is your classic Marathi and the Bow Snakes and Hagnar. So it's you don't often see all 4 heroes. Sometimes some people run the 10 sisters. But the little changes here and there. I'm sure Gavin has played. I know he's played Daughters a lot, so he might have a little bit of different sauce that he likes to do with the extra hero.
Yep, and the mission is Feral Foray. So pretty normal mission here. Again, there were tweaks to the mission pack at Slambo. Worth noting in round 5, the kind of big tweak to this mission or this game is both players are going to have the opportunity to reroll 1 dice in this game at any point, no matter what it is, priority or otherwise. They have to yell out Slambo first, and they can reroll 1 dice per phase. So there were some fun twists like that in this tournament pack, made from some excitement and hopefully not too pivotal impact on the games.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that coming into this.
Yes, I know. On my game 5, I didn't use it for priority, and so did my opponent, but both of us still failed the roll and failed to win priority, so it didn't matter.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's wild. I knew there was like a pinata and some other like different stuff to some of the missions, but wow, that can be very, very impactful.
Yes. And just to get into things, Gavin has gone for Conquer on the bottom left objective of the Skaven objective. Now, I don't think it doesn't actually look like Anthony deployed on that objective. So can you conquer it? Or no. Does it have to be 1 taken from your opponent? Like that's a should know that.
I'm not sure about the wording, but yeah, I know. I feel the same way. But obviously, I imagine he's just thinking the life takers are just coming down because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it has to be 1 your opponent controlled, I believe. So we'll see if they what goes on with that. But Blessing of Khaine has gone on to the 5 combat snakes. Marathi has gotten has received Catechism of Murder and Witch Brew. I would assume that's on the Shadow Queen rather than Little Marathi.
Yeah.
And Black Horror of Ulgu, it sounds like, is being cast right now. Oh, already has. Looks like, okay, that's why we missed it. There were previously 5 Stryer Acolytes there.
Yes. So the Black Horror of Ulgu, he must have rolled the 5 or 6 and killed all 5.
So it looks like all 5 were dead, so that's why the objective looks empty. Black Horror of Ulgu taking off those 5 acolytes, and it looks like we're already into the movement phase.
Yeah, Gavin's a very, very good player of note. So things like that, for sure, he would, he would know.
That's why I was surprised. Only other thing worth noting from the hero phase is Mind Razor did not go off.
Yeah,
it's always a big one.
That is big. So you can see actually the extra Slaughter Queen that he has just for Catechism of Murder. So given the 6s explode on Marathi is a nice little touch here too. So yeah, if he can make that charge, that'll be pretty big.
Yeah, make her extra punchy. And you can see Anthony looks like he did deploy a fair ways back from the line, trying to give Marathi as much room as he can to try and dissuade her from going in or not let her get that charge. So obviously hoping she doesn't get into the that big unit of Storm Fiends.
Yeah, it's interesting because you never want. I know playing some lists, it's like you want her to charge because then you know you're doing your 3 in the turn just from the unleash hell. But also, then he's kind of holding up those storm fiends. But the storm fiends can. There's a lot of ways to get them out of there. Like there's a lot of ways that the null holds the bridge. There's a lot of different stuff. But
Yep, definitely. Um, Looks like little Marathi has joined the Shadow Queen in the center of the table.
yeah.
But yeah, there are the null holes, which is obviously a big movement ability. And it looks like the daughters with their witches in the top left are zoning out with the null holes already. So we'll see what if Davin tries to zone out the other one.
Yeah, it's always that's another like tactic with Skaven. I know from just playing it. It's like often I'll just put holes in the corner and not like literally just there. And some people get so worried about the holes, and that's all they think about during like while they're moving, and they'll make mistakes or put things in places where they're so worried about the hole when really they're not doing too much.
Yeah.
But you do have to obviously be wary of them, and there's a lot of late game plays and a lot of good things you can still do with the holes.
Yep, definitely. And yeah, you always got to be, especially with something like Storm Fiends, you always got to be aware of the threat ranges, whether you do zone out the null holes or you're just staying away from them. You got to know the threat ranges of those different guns and that, because it can definitely be dangerous, having those Storm Fiends pop through.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like looking at what you do. Really, you can't just keep the Shadow Queen back. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense just throwing her up here. And we haven't got word from Table Boss, but did Little Marathi just cast Mirror Dance, I imagine, to get teleport over there?
That's what I would imagine as well.
Yeah, we don't have anything there, but I imagine that's what's happening there. So, yeah, we'll see. This is funny too. I see Emma is in the chat and Anthony's in the chat. So good to see all the Team Americans repping. This is obviously these two were both Team Americans. Both unable to go to Worlds, which was super unfortunate for different reasons, but they've played each other a bunch before, right? So I'm sure it was fun playing. It's always great table one, playing one of your buddies you played, and it's just such an easy game to play. They're both very comfortable, know kind of what's going on, and yeah, it's nice in that aspect.
Yep. And just to confirm from the table loss, Marathi did cast Shadow Dance. What is
Mirror Dance?
Mirror Dance, that's the one. Shadow Mirrors, one of those.
Something dark elfy.
It's like corn and blood. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Mirror Dance to get Marathi onto that objective. Obviously, the Tenerai were a backup as well. But here, the Queen herself did the job, doing the grunt work.
Yeah, and you always want her up in the mix too, right?
Yep.
She can only take 3 wounds, so why not get her up doing stuff?
Exactly. Looks like the combat snakes are pushing up as well.
Yep.
And Davin has used the command point from the command ability from the Melusai Iron Scale. This is it's to run and shoot or run and charge, and you run 2d6. He's chosen to use that on the bow snakes. So they're going to be getting up further up the board to get in their 24-inch range. Obviously, weren't able to utilize hero phase shooting at all with this far deployment, but now that they get a chance to do some shooting, what do you think his main target's going to be?
I don't know. It's if you shoot the Storm Fiends, you're not doing enough to do anything. So the Storm Fiends, there are 3 melee fiends that all have 7 wounds. So you need to do 21 wounds to even kill them. Plus, you would have to do an extra 6. So you'd have to do 27 wounds before you kill 1 gun of those 9 Storm Fiends, which is bonkers. So if he can get up close enough and just get some mortals and kill one of the Arch Warlocks, another strategy would be to just kill all the Acolytes as well. You can kill if you can kill everything but the Storm Fiends.
Yep.
There's 6 objectives here, right? It might be tough to play the objective games when you only have 1 unit. But Thankwell can still smash, and yeah, it's I'm not sure, but I would imagine one of those two, or just maybe just go full out at Thankwell too. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like Thankwell. Similarly, it's like it doesn't make much sense to dump all your output into a unit where you're not really getting the payoff. But the buffing heroes for the more warp power, if you can take out both of them, now that's a tall order. But maybe if Marathi gets lucky with her shooting attack, or the Shadow Queen rather.
Yeah.
That buffing hero, if taking both of them out, now he has 2 for redundancy, but that can go a long way in terms of getting damage or reducing the damage output of that big unit.
Oh, for sure. That's if you get rid of more warp power, this list is far, far less.
Yeah.
more and far, far less.
Yeah. Very Skaven of you.
Yeah, exactly. But you could see Gavin was really measuring exactly what was kind of going to be in range. So,
knowing threat ranges and.
Yeah, exactly. And it's quite a lot. You don't often see the Melissa Ion scale used on the bow snakes, but just such a good ability. That was changed, I think, right? It's not 2d6 anymore. They just changed that to d6, I believe. And
correct. After this, in the new battle tome, yep.
Yeah. Also with Marathi way down in the bottom left, first thing I thought about was right away was you want to make sure he's wholly within 24, or he can't shoot in the hero phase. But that also was changed a little bit. Well, I think to 18 instead of 24.
Yep.
But probably should be 12 or even 6.
Yeah, just like all the Seraphon buffs, right? They all need to get worse.
I agree. See, this I always get you teased about, and I'm like, no, I agree. I know. They're fucking bent. I know that.
And here we see the Khaine. They are coming down, and looks like Gavin will be using them to zone out that Nahul on the left side of the battlefield. So limiting kind of the mobility of Skaven and where they're able to move not only the Storm Fiends but any other units, right, for objective grabbing and whatnot. So
it's gonna be impactful. For sure. I think the witches, that looks like probably. Yeah, he might not have been able to fully get. Doc is so CP. You think they always want so much CP, right?
Yep.
So you don't want to be using CP on an auto run 6. And he probably was thinking if he just ran those witches, he's not going to be possibly not going to be able to zone that out completely. So just going for the safe bet here, and just zoning it out with the Heartrenders.
Yep, makes sense. I mean, they're not a ton of damage. Otherwise, so good utility unit for different reasons, and they're pretty quick. But here, very useful for zoning and screens and whatnot too. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot more of those in the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah. Looks like Gavin has a great assortment of dice over there. I think I see a couple Season of War ones. So.
Nice. Yeah. He's on the team with Noah and the boys of just having all the rainbow of colors, which drives Jordan crazy.
It does.
It's great.
But here, I think we're probably going to be gearing up for some shooting now that it looks like we've finished all the movement. So again, Thankful's got to be the target here, I would think.
Yeah, I the 5-up ward. 14 wounds. I don't know. All at defense.
There's not great options, really, right?
Honestly, killing those 5 acolytes. If he can't shoot an Arch Warlock, which Anthony would have had to deploy. Did we see who won the roll-off to deploy first? Did Anthony drop and then Gavin?
Anthony had choice. Yeah, he completed deployment first.
So did he give Gavin... So Gavin put his first drop down, so Anthony saw that.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, but...
See, that's what I wonder, because if he did, I would imagine Gavin wouldn't put his bow snakes down of his first drop, so that would have been interesting to see, because then he could place his Arch Warlocks in an area. So yeah, that would be interesting to see, because then he wouldn't be in with his Arch Warlocks. But if he put his other drops first, and then he could drop the bow snakes after. Yeah. All depends.
Yeah, it does sound like, so we are seeing the rolling starting. It sounds like the bow snakes are targeting the Storm Fiends here. So trying to chew through that big block. Obviously, they are going to be pivotal for Anthony here. That's pretty much the main unit his army, his whole list is riding on.
Yeah, Yeah, if he can do enough with Immortals.
And it's hard to tell if Marathi is it within charge range, but it's gonna be an 11 or 12 if at best.
Yeah, that
By the
looks
look of
like
it.
a yeah, 10 or 11 something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. And the Storm Fiends did use all out defense, so trying to keep obviously prevent as much damage as possible going onto that big unit.
Oh, absolutely. So -1, they'll be back to fours. So yeah, dicey. That'll be a huge charge if he can get in there. But if not, then the clock hasn't started on Marathi, so this kind of benefits both ways. But yeah, you'd love to see Thankful get into those bow snakes. That's all I can picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Just so much, man. Those oh god, those warp fire projectors are deadly.
yep, definitely. So I'm not sure. It looks like we might have seen a couple charge attempts there. But only it seems like, or sounds like, only 6 damage coming in from the bow snakes to the Storm Fiends. So we are seeing, or perhaps those rolls were actually Marathi shooting as well. Just waiting to hear what that was. But Marathi missed apparently, so that no damage coming from her. So
Classic
always
Marathi
disappointing.
missing. Yeah, and it looks like they're already drawing on the papers there. So looks like Gavin scored 5, I think, or 6. One has 5, one has 6. So who knows?
Yeah,
but
so,
yeah. Anyways,
yeah. So here, as, assuming he's out of charge or combat range, that or charge range, it's gonna be what 5 points here. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more for Daughters of Khaine, and with Marathi tagging that bottom left objective, that is going to be completion of Conquer, giving Gavin the standard solid 5 points here for a good lead. You often see 4 for the early turns potentially, but here grabbing that 1 point is a nice early lead because Anthony's gonna have a tough time grabbing an objective back here.
oh for sure. Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. Yeah, if you have a good alpha or something where you can take an objective, but yeah, in this one you often don't see that happen. So that's a solid turn. But as Gavin probably knows going into this, if Anthony doubles him back here, this list does so much damage. It's just unbelievable the output of the Storm Fiend. So I know the casting phase is going to be very, very important here. So
Yes,
can't wait to
definitely.
see more and more warp power. But I don't know. Even here, I think you just So we kept the Witch House back to zone the other hole. So it's going to be very dependent on because even with a move and a shoot 12, the Rattling Guns, I would think he would measure the bow snakes so they're outside of 18, so that he can't move the Rattling Guns and shoot the bow snakes. So he would need to get the bridge off because you can't pop through the same warp knot hole and then pop to the other side or anything like that
Yeah,
as well.
that's
I guess
true.
that wouldn't actually probably help here anyways. So yeah, it's going to be a very important Skaven magic phase here.
Yep, and neither of these armies are super dominant casters. Now the Skaven, they got +1 to cast from the Gnaw hole, so that'll be helping them out. Marathi at this point still has her +1 because it's the old book, but
yeah, and she can unbind what 3? I know she casts 3. Does she
cast
unbind
3
3 as
unbinds
well?
2, I believe, actually. And
Yeah.
just while we are in this phase, waiting to hear what's going on, I do want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Adam for the super chat. Just wondering our initial thoughts on the new GHB. And it does look interesting. Obviously, kind of got to hold your reservations until we find out everything, hopefully this weekend. But I'm just excited for the upcoming changes, I think. I would love to see, a couple less monsters and some, more hordes and maybe units we haven't seen out before, or as much lately.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I haven't done a big enough deep dive yet. As I've told you in Carl Jordan, I need to tonight. I'm going to look a lot more into it, just of what has been released. But Yeah, there's lots of. It's going to be a lot different, it seems.
Yeah. I think there's gonna be very interesting trading going, in the new meta with like, trading units for one another, and which are the I forget the name of the keyword, GV or whatever it stands for, the veterans. Um, Basically your battle line troops less than 4 wounds. It's going to be very interesting to see how that impacts the game. Whether people start screening with other kinds of units to not give up the battle tactic, or not receive extra damage. From the battalion and all those things. There's lots going on, so I'm very interested to see how it shakes things up.
For sure. Yeah, yeah. So he's cast more Warp Lightning Vortex here on a which was a 13. If anyone saw, it was a 6, 5, and a 2. So that actually means Thanquol takes D6 mortal wounds back, which he took 2 mortal wounds to himself. But then that can't be unbound. So that's a vortex right in the face of everything, which is just amazing. Such a good spell.
That's awesome. Hitting everything. That's huge start for Skaven. Obviously, that's a tough spell to cast, so not the most reliable. Not as reliable as it is for some dwarves.
No, not at all. So it looks like he's probably casting, or he cast Mystic Shield onto the Storm Fiends, which is actually huge, giving them +1 save.
Yep.
Just making them that much more survivable. And then he either already has cast, or he did cast more and more Warp Power, and it looks like Marathi unbound it.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, so that's big. That greatly reduces the damage on the Storm Fiends.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see. So that's huge for Gavin. You're always when you're so happy when you can unbind that spell.
Yeah, that's the critical spell of this army, right?
100%. Yeah. We've seen a couple bat reps. I know when I've played them, and just for some reason when you play Skaven, just can't cast anything. You just blow yourself up like crazy.
Yeah,
guess it's just the Skaven way. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Here though, we did see just now an arcane bolt cast by one of the warlocks, and we are into the movement phase now. Seeing Thanquol get up nice and close, hoping to roast some snakes.
Yeah. If Gavin didn't, I don't know if he would have kept him back. It is 8 inches, so it looks like there might be a couple snakes in there. I don't know. I love that Ben Riddle puts in the chat, happy gorilla noises. The Harambe's heroes. Unbind more Warp Power confirmed. Yeah, so he did unbind more Warp Power, yes, with Marathi.
Yep. 2 big teams here facing off, as you said. Harambe's heroes, represented by Gavin and Anthony of the Tough Crowd. So big matchup here. Lots on the line. We got Anthony in the chat. So that's great to have you hanging out with us. But yeah, surprisingly, more Warp Power, he says, is important.
Yeah.
None of us knew.
Now, it looks like, just from my eyes here, the top right fiends are the launchers. The top 3, so the top left, second to the left, and third to the left are the rattling guns. So imagine when he's moving here, he's going to try to shoot a few of the guns into the spear snakes. I think maybe one of them might be in. And then the other ones will have to just do the wounds to Marathi. But the launchers, he's ready to go at whatever. So probably the bow snakes. But without more Warp Power, they're 4s and 4s. Vigorous Injector, I guess they would be 3s and 4s, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we saw the bridge being attempted to cast here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just because there wasn't enough room to really get use out of it.
Yeah, I think with coming down outside of 9, he's probably as close as he could have been anyways. If not even closer because of the distance to Marathi there.
Yeah, and Anthony's confirmed in the chat. Yeah, nowhere for the bridge to go, which makes sense. So that's
Daughters of Khaine, obviously, taking the board control here isn't leaving much space, so just kind of playing with what he's got.
Yeah, did we see how many wounds the Vortex? Oh, only the Iron Scale took 1 mortal wound. He flubbed every other roll, it looks like, on the Warp Lightning Vortex.
That's pretty disappointing, but not surprising that it can be quite swingy with the 4-ups or 3-ups to do damage.
Yeah, well, you need to roll. You need to get a couple of them close to each of the vortexes for it to be, on a 4-up and then a 3-up
Yeah.
and then a 2-up. So it's a 4-ups though. You would think you would get one on something, one of those other things,
It's
but
dice, though. That's what it happens. And noteworthy, Anthony did choose Ferocious Advance here for his battle tactic, running with his Scryer Acolytes and his 2 little wizards, so the Arch Warlocks. So they all ran for that battle tactic.
yep, easy one. If anyone can hear my cat meowing in the chat, let me know, and he will be dealt with.
We cannot, unfortunately,
No.
actually.
Okay,
He's just here, sees the rats on the screen, and is ready to feast.
yeah, he's ready to go. He's waiting for his mom to come home, and she's not here yet. So I just don't know when with the suppression if you can hear it or not. But
Sounds like
that's good.
the vortex has done a little more damage at the end of the movement phase.
Yeah, just one mortal wound to Marathi and 1 mortal wound to the 5 snakes. Yeah, so the vortex can be amazing, and it can also be trash. I remember when Anthony and I played, he rolled a 6 on the vortex, I think like 3 or 4 times in a row. But every one of those D6 damages, he rolled a 1. So it was just like crazy odds, but just one of those hilarious moments.
That's how it goes, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah. So it looks like he's just lining up Thanquil's blaster flamethrowers here.
I wonder. It looks like he wasn't in range of the bow snakes, I don't think. Which is obviously the target he would love to shoot into. See here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just devastating if you can. Those acolytes have moved up too, so they're actually going to be. They'll have a couple pot shots.
Yeah, so it looks like it is. Thankful did have to go into the combat snakes here.
Ooh, he's done 8 damage.
Yeah, so that kills 4 completely. Oh, maybe even. Oh, yeah, and they took 1 damage from the vortex. So only 1 snake with 1 wound remaining.
Yeah, wow.
So what? Marathi's taken just 1 mortal or 1 wound so far, so still gotta put another 2 on her.
Yep. This is honestly interesting too. Anthony probably could have. Well, I don't want to say good chance, but taking broken ranks here actually, because Thank was going to burn quite a few of them, and then he can still charge them here and stay outside of the bows, at least a few of them. But it's probably one of those situations where it's like, just get your battle tactic, make sure you do it, game 5, table 1 kind of thing.
Yep.
And it's also the obvious scenario that we see these things and go, well, he could have done this, could have done that. It's like we're watching the game back from the top down. So always, take everything we say with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Always easier to see it from this angle, and we don't have the stress of having to make any of these decisions. So we can just easily critique them like we know what we're talking about.
Exactly. And in these situations, you're extra ass, there's so many things. You're probably a little hungover. There's just a lot of things factor into these games.
The end of 2 long days of Warhammer, so
yes,
definitely takes a toll on you.
Big time.
Yeah. Sounds like the Gatling cannons are going into Marathi and the launchers into the bow snakes, as you kind of predicted, Ridge.
Yep.
And uses a warp stone and is also using the Triumph and all-out attack. So +1 to hit, +1 to wound right now.
Nice. That's huge. Oh, so he didn't do. He must not have done the Vigor Dust injectors here. So either way, he's in. It's only pretty much he's going to use it in the shooting phase because he doesn't want to charge anything. So either way, so that'll be 3s and 3s on those puppies. Not re-rolling, but yeah, still can do some good damage as we see.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, not really, actually. So only 3 bow snakes died. So what's that? 6, so 5 damage.
Yeah, I mean they do have armor and wards, so it's not nothing.
Or 7, sorry, 7 damage.
Yeah, not nothing. You obviously we know they can do a lot more is why it doesn't seem like much. And obviously, for the investment that Anthony's put into that unit, it's hoping for more. Every little bit counts.
Yep. And looks like he's measuring up some. Is he measuring up a charge into them?
Potentially looking at even just like the Unleash Hell range, see if he can make charges.
It looks like there's only going to be like 2 or 3 that are going to do it. So just to kill off that last snake so that he can't. Well, rally's only 4 dice, but
well, and also, that one snake could be used to prevent an Unleash Hell, on the other side. So with that 8-inch move, it could, if Marathi does try to go into the Storm Fiends, it could, so to Unleash Hell next round. But,
well, it looks like he is. Is he maybe measuring just to?
Probably limiting. My guess here is he's staying far enough back to limit the number that are able to Unleash Hell, but wants to be able to pile in and tag that unit.
Very, very, yes, that is definitely what he's doing. Because if he wanted to stay out of Unleash Hell, clearly he would go just to the front, to the right.
Yeah.
So
looking to tie those guys up. Yeah.
Yeah, and with Thankful, if he's doing that, he's probably banking on a next turn. If he wins, he can best day ever the Thankful as well, right? And then he's on a 3-up with the 5-up board, all at defense. I guess not in the hero phase, but in the shooting phase. Yeah, big brain play from our boy Anthony.
Oh yeah, and even if he doesn't win priority, it keeps them tied up. So kind of a win-win. Again, doesn't want, like, Thankful is a big piece for him, but it's all about those Storm Fiends. So limiting their output, kind of controlling where they get to shoot. Also keep them in a spot where they're getting hit by the Warp Lightning Vortex. Be pretty annoying.
Yes, absolutely. And he'll probably, it looks like he's outside of 6 himself, so he'll probably be able to stay outside of that, I imagine. So are we waiting to see maybe if Gavin is going to do the Unleash Hell? Do you have, sorry, I can't see the screen up. How many CP does Gavin have?
I believe it's only at least he's got at least 1. He may have 2 remaining. An imperfect science keeping track of that right now.
Yeah. Okay, so he's activated with Thankful.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like that was actually just probably a stomp. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So both of us were wrong.
Yeah. But he is piling in here now.
Or he's just going full out into them, yeah. Which, yeah, that's huge. So being able to actually take them right down too.
Yeah, that stomp, only 1 wound remaining. So as long as he rolled the 2 up and there were no wards made, keeping that snake alive, yeah, it frees him up to pile in directly to the snakes.
Yep. Yeah, and he's saying in the chat here, so exactly 4 away or 3.99 away, so that, yes, when he piles in, he'll be exactly within 1 inch to do all of his attacks. Yeah. He got Blessing of Khaine off, right? But I think it was on the Spear Snakes, right? So that's the reroll on the Fanatical Faith, because this is the old book, correct? So he'll have just the 5-up ward. So yeah, that's interesting to see if he would have maybe done it on the roll the, not Fanatical Faith, the Blessing of Khaine, sorry, is what I'm trying to say, onto them. But I bet you Gavin wasn't thinking that they were going to get charged on here or like get into combat here.
Yeah, obviously didn't want that to happen, but
no.
It's not, yeah. 24 inches is pretty far. But yeah, I don't know if maybe he could have been much further back or anything, or screen again those combat snakes, allowing Anthony here to kind of pivot off of and charge into that lone remaining one with Thankful.
Yep. So it looks like he's piling in the bow snakes here. Yeah, this is going to be your classic, always, everyone always says, always the same thing. Priority this turn 2 is going to be, yeah, just so impactful. That's why you see these low drops, 1 drop, 2 drop. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely going to be big here. I think it's going to be, well, we've got to have seen the 3 wounds on Marathi. It's got to be, I feel like bad news for Daughters of Khaine if they do not get it here. Because
for sure.
those Storm Fiends, if Anthony wins priority, are going to unleash. And between that and Thankful, I think we would see the Bow Snakes go down.
Oh, for sure.
Whether we get Warp Fire or Warp Power or not.
Oh, I was just going to say, did Marathi take her wounds? But yes, because the gun shot into her too. Yeah, so she definitely took her 3. Yeah.
It sounds like we just saw priority rolled, actually, and Gavin has won it here. So Anthony scored 4 points for with the Skaven on his turn, so we are into round 2 already. Thankfully for the Daughters of Khaine, they did win priority, because it could have got real spicy real quick otherwise.
Oh, big time. Yeah, that would have been a real quick game 5.
I mean, it happens, right? So much of AOS right now comes down to matchups. Not all the time, but it's such a big factor, especially with 2 equally matched opponents. So always a big a big part of the game, or a big potential to impact it.
Well, yeah, and just low drop. That's just what we've talked about a ton too. Like Battle Regiment, just being 1 drop, giving the turn, and then getting the double. Some armies are it's just insane how quickly, how devastating they can be. So,
yeah.
And that's where the game's at, but we're at a change. We're at a crossroads.
Yeah, fair enough. You'll have to give us, if you're watching as well, a little bit of grace on the notes we're getting from the table boss. Josh is having a hard time. There were a lot of people yelling Slambo this round so they could get their rerolls. So it messed with our audio a little bit. But Josh is working hard, doing a great job as always. So shout out to him, table bossing it up for us. We are here, amazing. Round 2 of the final game of the Slambo GT top table. Gavin and the Daughters of Khaine. We're into round 2. Daughters have the turn and have a chance to keep themselves in it, I think.
I don't know if they did, because he said he put that originally, but it looks like Skaven actually won priority here.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So.
Yeah, again, after I apologize here, then we are getting corrected. So as you say, Ridge, looks like it is not, sadly for Gavin, not a Daughters of Khaine turn 2, but a Skaven turn 2.
Yes. So like we were just saying, this is the power of 1 drop giveaway double back.
Yes,
and your
exactly.
Classic crazy amount of damage that we're going to see here.
Yeah, it's a great way. You have a ton of output. You can potentially seal games early. Can be very devastating.
Yeah, and looks like Anthony is casting right now. He's took broken ranks on the snakes, which makes sense. And that looks like a 9, I believe. And I think this is more and more warp power here.
We'll see. This is always a critical one.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Gavin's just picking which dice and channeling his gods to try to unbind this.
Oh. He got it round 1, but doesn't look. We see the tokens going down next to the Storm Fiends, so I think they got it off.
Yeah, so so more warp power. It's engage the chat. More warp power has went off.
Yes,
let everyone know.
Yeah, and notes from Anthony in the chat. His strategy here is worry about the objectives after killing his opponent's army. So going for broken ranks, as you said, on those bow snakes. Again, between Thankwill's going to roast a bunch, and the Storm Fiends will probably have a good opportunity to clean the rest up.
Oh, I don't even think he's going to. He won't even need to put the Storm Fiends on the bow snakes.
No,
I think Thankwill's going to roast and maybe he'll shoot a little bit into them.
I mean, what else
And
do you
then
bother shooting? Because Marathi's only taking 3.
oh, just kill the harpies and the witches. But I guess the position wise,
Yeah, not much for the long range guns. Obviously, you'll have a few more options, but
and you're right. In this situation, you know that this is going to be a big 5-0. But you still want to score points, right? So I'm pretty sure with Thanquil and the other shooting, he'll be able to kill the snakes. And now we see, yeah, he is moving to the left here, so might be positioning to kill those what you call it, the heart renders.
yep.
And then as well with the wind launchers, a small rule too that you often forget: 10 or more models, they actually get, I think, +1 to hit as well. So if he's within range to shoot those witches in the top left, he could be realistically leave Gavin on just Marathi and the Iron Scale and the Witch, like literally just his 4 heroes.
Yeah.
Or kill
That'd be,
even some of the heroes.
yeah, and that's not a great position to be in. Now, Marathi only has 3 wounds on her, but she's going to take another 3 this round. As soon as she charges in, she's going to probably take another 3 on the Unleash Hell, let alone, even just waiting for combat. So
Looks like the Warlock did fail. The Warlock failed. Josh has got the scroll spell, so that would be the Mortal Wounds, the Lightning Storm. So must have failed that. And
Warp
then
Lightning Storm, yeah.
Warp Lightning Storm, yeah. And then Gavin smartly unbound the Warp Lightning Vortex this turn so that Anthony wouldn't be able to cast it, which is smart move from Gavin, which I expect nothing less.
Yep. You need to roll decently, but hey, gotta try it, right? Especially with someone like Marathi stops her, or the Shadow Queen stops her from flying, potentially taking more damage when she doesn't want to.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing with Marathi too. It's like, if you kill everything else as well, there's nothing Gavin can do. Like you can't just run around and get battle tactics. Well, you could, but you can't engage also, because if you engage, then she's going to take her wounds and die. So
exactly.
Taking them so early here, well, obviously, yeah, it's only turn 2, so that is one of the downsides. So, yeah.
Yeah, looks like we are gearing up to shoot at Thanquil, or shoot with Thanquil, just counting out the bow snakes, it looks like.
Oh, Thanquil did cast an Arcane Bolt as well. We're hearing as well before that. So a little more damage, but again, I'm quite sure he should be able to do enough here. But we'll see as Anthony's picks out. Look how many dice that is. Like, that's just from whatever there are there. 9 snakes. So it's just wild.
Looks like 23 mortal wounds coming out of Thanquil.
Yeah, man, I was telling you.
So
he's bonkers.
There's, I think, 17 wounds in that unit. So Gavin's got to make above average amount of 6s to have any survive.
Yeah, wow. And here we see the roll. Oh, the Season of War dies a 5.
Nice.
Oh, it's only 6. Oh, 6 rerollable. Sorry, because it's Fanatical Faith. Yeah, rerollable.
Few more 6s in there. Looks like a couple might live. That's pretty solid. Again, with the reroll, he is getting that above average, right? So
yeah, that's quite a few 6s. He's gonna have, now remember, he's gonna have a stomp. He's gonna have a bolt. He's gonna have and then his attacks.
Yep, I don't think there's any chance of them surviving this turn, but they're surviving.
Or even maybe a roar, actually, because he's gonna be on a 5-up save. But I think you go with the mortals if there's any left here.
Oh. See how many get lifted. There were 10 remaining in the unit, it looks like.
I think there were 9.
9 or 10, so only
2 left.
2 left.
1 with the wounds.
Yeah, 3 wounds remaining.
Yeah, so that's where
But we'll see.
He's got the bolt too, which is nice.
And we'll see if the acolytes can do any damage this turn. They failed last turn, so.
Yeah, do you even care here? I guess you still do it. Just in this case, you want to make sure you kill him.
Well, do you even? Because you want the monster point. Well,
but I don't know if you care here. You're in such a good position that you're gonna you're gonna win the game.
That's true.
Well, you're not. No, it is at this point. It's
strong
pretty.
Position.
very strong position. I think, yeah, this you just go for it and you just went off. Carly is home here for a second. I will be back in 1 second, Jordan.
Well, we'll have to say hi to Carly.
Yeah, everyone says hi, babe.
And the cat.
But the cat is locked in. He is very happy. He has exited the bathroom. He is happier than ever.
Nice. Well, here it looks like we are seeing wind launchers into Marathi and her wounds ticking up. So, sorry, it might not have been the wind launchers. I don't know which gun is which. I'm not the Skaven player, but we saw wounds going on to Marathi. That's always big. Again, she'll be up to 6 this turn. Leaving her at half health.
Yeah. Looks like the Rattlings probably aren't within 12 of the Harpies on the left there, the Heartrenders. So yeah, he would have just done what he did last turn. Just make sure you're in your 3 with them, and then the wind launchers are 24 inch range.
Okay, so those look like they're going into potentially splitting them. 2 into the snakes. It sounds like 1 might be going into the life takers.
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, no, the life takers back in this book, they could still do a little bit of work, right? If they get Mind Razor and shit, I think they were.
Oh, definitely with buffs, they can be. Definitely they can be useful.
I remember Oliver, wrecking me with them before, and I've been like, sorry, they do what? It's like, yeah, they're on the charge, they're this much damage, and they do this much. Like, okay, so yeah, they can do some damage.
And here, it looks like wind launchers are going in. Seeing 5 damage, couple wards made.
Yeah, they must be wards because those babies are -3 rend.
Yeah, so 3 of the life takers are killed here, so not a lot. This is looking like it's definitely going Skaven's way right now. I think Anthony's only lost 5 acolytes, taking a couple wounds on the Storm Fiends.
Yeah, it looks like he's measuring that 3 too to see if he's outside of that. Did Anthony just roll Snake Eyes? No, okay. I was just gonna say, looks like he was just outside of 3, so he did make the charge with Thanquil.
Yeah. Yeah, so making a charge. He's going to be touching that objective, and Thanquil is a monster, so he's counting as 5 bodies, so...
Yeah, that's huge. He's going to take the point, too.
Yeah, potentially. I wonder if how many Storm Fiends he got on that left objective. If he managed to put 2 on it, he could be getting hold more this round.
Yep, and looks like he stomped off the snake, as you do.
Perfect. That's that battle tactic with a monster.
And then I imagine he would have measured that again if he could have measured exactly that same thing he did last turn. If he's just with him 4, Thanquil might go up and just rip that iron scale as well.
Yeah, very easily. Definitely no reason not to go in at this point.
Unless he wasn't able to, with that charge, get inside 4, then he knows he can't get in. So then, yeah, and that it's not like she's going to really do much anyways, the iron scale.
And not to Thanquil. He looks like he's taking a couple wounds, but...
Yep.
And, alright, well, it sounds like this is where our players are... So we've finished Skaven turn here now. And they've scored quite a big amount of points here. So not only do they get to hold 1-2 more, Battle Tactic puts them at 5 with a monster for 6. And then is Skaven a Prime Hunter? They are, aren't they? So
yeah. They are. Yeah.
That's not only 2 points. What is that?
It'd be 3 without the Prime Hunter, so I think it's 4. Right?
Yeah, so 4 points there. So
2 more.
In
and
the end, it's 10
tactic.
points.
Yeah.
Now it's an extra Prime Hunter point for each unit, so it'd be 6 units because it's double reinforced. So maybe he's not touched that other objective, and it's just hold 1, hold 2, Battle Tactic for 11.
No, so it was what you said. I think it's what you said first. So 1-2 more. battle tactic would be 5 with the monster is 6. The 3 prime hunters is 9 for the 3 bow snakes, and then +1 is for them being
Do
a
you
hunter
not get the
themselves.
plus? You'd get the +1 for each reinforcement though.
Oh, do you? So it would be. Oh, so he should have got an extra 11.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
anyways, one way or another, that's gonna be
It's a lot.
big turn of story here. So up 14-5 right now for the Skaven. We're gonna be going into Daughters of Turn 2, but I don't know, Ridge. What do you think? Is there anything?
No,
really
Gavin at this
Gavin
point
can
is
do
just
here?
like no, but like it's rough. He's gonna end a 4-1, right? So you want to try to get as many points as you can, stay as high as you can, because in these big tournaments there's sometimes 12, 14, 4-1s, right? So
Oh yeah.
you want to score as much as you can, but I imagine, like I said, these players are both such high end. It's like Gavin knows when he's given first and gets doubled by this type of list, what's going to happen. It's like it does so much damage, especially getting that more power turn 2. And Thankful just going off like a beast. Wow. Just that was insane.
And Anthony just confirming in the chat, they only gave the 1 point for being a prime hunter, not per
Enforcement.
per reinforcement.
Yeah, I
I'm not 100% on that. Not ever using prime hunters myself.
don't know. Yeah, you just play the elves.
Yeah. And we
I
are.
guess Sylvaneth was a prime hunter.
Yep, they were. Can't say I've taken them out a ton.
New
Of
Deepkin
late.
book came out,
Exactly.
so you were
I've been busy.
distracted.
Been busy. Yep.
Yeah.
In the hero phase though, for Daughters of Khaine, we've seen Black Horror of Uldu failed. Thankful you did a heroic recovery, healing his 3 wounds that he had allocated, so that's great for him. Marathi, the Shadow Queen, has used Best Day Ever and gone for broken ranks on the acolytes.
Yep.
So I wonder,
Like we said, getting points.
do you think just cut his losses? Because even here, it was straight victory points for like the first tiebreaker after wins. So do you think he's even going for that monster point to do it with Marathi?
Oh, for sure. I would imagine he is, because like I said earlier in the game, the one downside of that is if he charges either of them into those Storm Fiends, you're taking your 3 wounds, and then you're dead on the next turn.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like he's probably going to try to not engage the Storm Fiends, kill everything else, and then play the board.
Yeah, we just saw those acolytes killed already from the Shadow Queen, who did use the command ability from Little Marathi to shoot in the hero phase, and she shot those acolytes off lickety split. So already battle tactic achieved.
Nice.
And she can potentially do some extra, point hunting. Maybe going for Thankful for the monster point is a worthwhile target, or setting up for bring it down later on.
Yeah, for sure. And just looking at the points, right? Because Gavin's obviously very good with probably when he's moving things around. The bottom left point, I think it looks like there's 2 Storm Fiends on there, which is big for Anthony, because then he can't just run those 2 Harpies, run Little Marathi, and take that. So he's not going to be getting the bottom left, the bottom middle, depending on where he puts the Shadow Queen. I don't know. Do you just go after Thankful here? Best day ever.
Yeah.
I don't. What did Anthony do for his tactic? Did we hear from Josh?
Previously, last round.
No, for this round. Like what heroic action did Anthony do? Did he best day ever Thankful?
No, he went for the heroic recovery on Thankful, so he healed 3 wounds. So he's back to full
Oh wow.
health.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So then 4-up save. If you can roar him and then -2 rend on Heartrender, the Shadow Queen could take Thankful down for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, do you risk trying to wait for the battle tactic to do you go in and hope you don't kill him, so you can hope for priority and get the extra points next round? Because with Marathi over there, if she does get onto the objective, they'll at least get that objective, but that won't actually help in terms of hold more or anything. So not the end of the world.
No, I don't know. Because originally I'm thinking just getting points, but if
Yeah,
he was able to take him down, the other sad part is that they're both arch warlocks are kind of back in decent positions.
yeah, yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. Pretty much if Marathi, Gavin doesn't want to take the 3 wounds on Marathi here, so that this turn, so that he has at least another turn with her, even if he loses priority next round. But just, do you try the long game of trying to set up a battle tactic for the next round, or do you just take the points with the monster kill where you can? Obviously, lots of different options, and we'll see what Gavin goes for, but definitely not on his side right now.
I don't know how you or what you would say, but in this position, I think for Gavin, you almost no matter what have to play for the double here, because if Anthony wins turn 3 priority, everything's going to be dead. If he doesn't play, you know what I mean, and he plays safe here, like not play for the double and tries to kill Thankful or whatever he's going to do, Anthony's just going to kill everything. So playing for the double here, I think honestly it's the same plan, even if you weren't playing for the double. But yeah, we'll see what he does. But I imagine he's gonna try not to. Hopefully Marathi doesn't take her 3 wounds and just kill Thankful or the other things in the field.
Yeah,
But
that's gonna be a tough one.
that's what else do you do? You can't engage those Storm Fiends.
Yeah, I think the best bet, maybe try and plink some wounds off Thankful. Maybe go in there. If you go in though, you're taking your 3 wounds, so maybe try and shoot. Maybe send in just the Iron Scale to potentially do some damage. That way you're getting Marathi on your next turn, whether or not you win priority. You keep her safe.
Oh, here we go.
Trying to set up for bring it down next round.
Yep, or you know what? Those harpies or the heart renders actually could probably eat that unleash hell. They're actually pretty fast, aren't they? So if he did want to go into the Storm Fiends, the harpies, like those heart renders, could I guess potentially, or even to where he's moved this, the little hero here could also eat it. So maybe he is thinking about going at the Storm Fiends.
Yep. Yeah, it could be. And maybe, obviously, he is a very experienced player, so maybe he sees some different options that we're missing and is still fighting for the win.
Yes, Gavin is much better than me, so I imagine he is probably seeing multiple things there. Also, if he can tag like a corner of those Storm Fiends, right, he's maybe not even going to take the wounds back on Marathi. Who knows?
Could be.
4 attacks, 4s, 3s, no rend, 2 damage from the Storm Fiends. Oh. But they do have more warp power, actually, so they all will be rerolling that too.
Yes.
So they're going to be deadly. Does he have an avatar of Khaine?
He does have an avatar. We actually missed that in the list, but I remember seeing that when I looked it up originally. So there is an avatar. Looks like it might be going in for Thankful as well.
Nice. I didn't know. Oh yeah, I do remember when I read this list in Mexico when I was reading it when you guys were at Slambo. I was thinking that I'm like, wow, he took an avatar, like cheeky pick with the avatar. But yeah, no shit, Jordan. Missing the unit in the Twitter lists. So unlike you.
I can't be perfect all the time.
I honestly don't. Have you ever done a list perfectly correct on Twitter? Have you?
Of course I have.
I don't know.
Just about as often as you're on time, Ridge.
Yeah, that's fair.
But here, we'll see what he does with Marathi. That's obviously a question. A couple of potential charges coming in here. He hasn't chosen not to move them, so not wanting to redeploy or let the Storm Fiends redeploy, potentially.
That's 100% what he's done, because with that hero and the heart renders are both outside 9, so he doesn't want those Storm Fiends to redeploy. Yeah, with the avatar, I don't even know what that thing does. Does it actually do a bit of damage, I wonder?
They have a little bit of damage output, yep. Looks like we've seen 1 damage go into Thankful.
Okay. Oh, so it's got a shooting attack then.
Yeah,
cool. And he's what's in the very top right beside the objective there. Because the Iron Scale is in the far right.
That's trying
That
to be
just charged in.
either the Hag Queen or Slaughter Queen.
Oh, because he's got one of each.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And he did, noteworthy, Gavin did put Catechism of Murder and Witch Brew on the avatar, as well as Blessing of Khaine, so it is pretty buffed up right now.
Nice. Yeah, so it can actually probably do some decent damage here.
For sure. And not even to say a big thank you to our own boy, Michael Sabetti, local boy, elf player extraordinaire as well, for the super chat and Chirpin Ridge, which we always love to hear. But,
yep.
Yeah. Always room to improve. We know it.
Yeah, the doc stuff, I'm not the most seasoned on. I know quite a bit of what it does, but yeah.
The core things that we all know are the Marathi and the bow snakes, combat snakes. We've seen witches in action. But yeah, we'll have next week actually our first battle report coming out with the new Daughters of Khaine book, so I'm very excited for that. Ridge, it was a fun game. We got to see lots of stuff going off on both sides, so
that was super fun. That was a fun one to play. So he charged the Shadow Queen in first. So
might not have had options, made other charges, would have failed, but
yeah. So yeah, didn't see the rolls.
Again, just want to say a big thank you to Mike again for the super chat. If you want to help support the channel, that's a great way, as well as checking out our premium membership if you want extra content. So thank you guys. Lance is asking how damaged is Marathi. She's taken 6 wounds already, and just actually stomped to deal 2 wounds to the Storm Fiends, but I think we expect her to take another 3 this round now that she's in combat, and probably, gonna be down to 3 remaining. 9. Yeah, so probably dying on the next turn or next round at the latest. Marathi has used Feral Roar here, so she will be fighting on top profile, and she is finest hour on the Shadow Queen, so.
Yep. So we're gonna see just how many she can kill here. The classic Marathi. I've just watched her whiff so much. She's kind of swingy on best day ever. It's obviously a lot more reliable wounding on 2s, but yeah, see how much damage she does. And then is he planning then? So both of those are tagged the bottom left, it looks like. But I guess depending on where he pulls.
We're actually going in right now with the Avatar first, and just dealt 3 damage to Thankful. So again, with Marathi, sounds like already taking her damage from Unleash Hell. I don't think they bothered to roll it out, would be my guess.
Yeah.
And so she does already have 9 damage on her.
Oh, baby. And we're seeing one of the best rules in the Skaven book. I love it. So the Skaven have a rule where if he activates somewhere else, which when you can choose to pile in, Skaven heroes can skitter away, and you can skitter away out of combat.
And Thankful is a Skaven hero, so even though he's a big meaty boy, he can also be a coward at times.
Which we actually have already seen. I remember Anthony actually wrote in the chat, Tufker chat, that actually has been taken away already, because now it says like a character with like less than so many wounds.
Oh, so or maybe more scurry for Thankful.
Yeah, not a monster or something. I can't remember, but yeah, no more scurrying.
This is letting Marathi kind of pile away from those Storm Fiends, so we'll see how much damage. We know she can be swingy, but hopefully with finest hour, Gavin's gonna get some good output here.
Yeah, and obviously Gavin, is piling in here to take that objective as well. So the one we were chatting about before that, I just for some reason thought he was going somewhere else with the Shadow Queen. So yeah, he's gonna have more bodies here no matter what. So he'll take the objective as well.
Yeah. We will see what she's able to do. Rerolling 1s with Heartrender. Thankfully, there were 3 1s. It looked like.
Yeah, and wounding on 2s. So just no ones, only 1/1 on the wound.
It's like 7 going through. We'll see the
Yep.
saves.
Just 2. Oh, they got Mystic Shield, so
Yep.
yeah, looks like he saved 2. So that's going to be what, 15 damage? Did he get Mind Razor off or no?
I do not believe
No, he
so.
no,
Mind
yeah, he
Razor
failed
was
it.
failed. Yep. Oh, we do see a couple Storm Fiends being pulled already. There's a lot of meat to chew through, but Mind Razor would help. Unfortunately, didn't get it. But here, still, Marathi on top profile from Feral Roar, putting in some good damage.
How
And,
is she? Is she hitting on 2s? Or it's 3s or rolling 1s would be the hits, right? Because, yeah.
yep.
So 2 went through there.
And yeah, looks like there's.
Oh, Marathi used all out
Stormfiends.
attack. Duh, there you go. So that's why. So it's 2s are rolling 1s and 2s to wound.
Are we sure that might have been? Not sure if that's a incorrect, because Marathi did use Feral Roar, so I don't believe she would have been able to use all out attack.
Yeah, you're right. So,
But sounds like she did 17 damage in total, so that might have been a note about actually the fiends using all out defense potentially. Since she did stomp them, they were not roared, so they could have used all out defense. Very likely, I'm sure Anthony would have. It has the CP.
yeah, you don't care because you're rerolling hits and wounds already. So you definitely want to just keep them alive. Is this a big priority roll? They toss the die looking like it is a priority roll. It look like a 3 to Anthony's 3 to Gavin's 1.
Yeah, and potentially a reroll there from the Slambo. Not sure, but
Oh yeah, what that must
reroll the 1 into a 1. It looked like.
Anthony, let us know in the chat. We need to know if that was a Slambo reroll because
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. But here it looks like they have removed an objective, so the center objective on the Skaven side. Oh, that's another note. There was another kink to this mission. You would have heard it if you watched my Slambo recap of my experience. But there isn't an objective burned on only the round 3. But if you go first in each of the battle rounds in this game, starting in the second, your opponent can burn an objective every round. So that's why we see 2 of Anthony's objectives gone. Now, Anthony has pushed to the top right one, is, fighting for that one on the bottom left, but this was really impactful in my game. You would have heard if you watched that recap, so I wonder, it could be big here as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. That changes the game like so much. That's crazy. I was wondering why the bottom right there was gone before.
Yeah, it was. I thought maybe they just accidentally moved it, but yeah, that was absolutely devastating in my game. Here though, what the Daughters of Khaine would have stored hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and their battle tactic with a monster. For 6 points for the Daughters of Khaine, I believe.
Mm-hmm. What would they take for tactic again? Conk or no?
Gavin had done
broken ranks. Oh, and he did do it with the shooting attack.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like this definitely looks like your classic talking out what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Seeing if it's worth it. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think with this going, another priority to Skaven, we are into round 3 now.
Yeah, with Marathi down and all these other things down.
Yeah, it sounds like our players are talking out now. Potentially, so we'll see. Yeah, okay, so it looks like you can even see it on the scorecard up in that top right corner. Just talking out this turn with probably from the Predator points and whatnot. Anthony would score 7 points here on his turn.
Maybe they're gonna roll the hero phase or see. Oh, he's probably taking his damage from the Vigorous Injector or the more warp power. Now he's probably casting something. This is always the fun part when you start rolling stuff out, and then it's like, oh well, damn, I would have got that. Oh no, but I didn't get this, didn't get this, didn't get this. Okay, if you can move here and do this, you do it. Oh, you can't get that. It's like nothing goes right for you when you're trying to like just make
just
it quick
move it
and easy.
quickly. Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to roll off to see who's going to win the game. Back and forth, just let the dice count it out.
Yeah. So our table boss is saying, yeah, and we see here they're just kind of rolling stuff to see.
Just quick rolls to see damages and whatnot, and obviously Marathi here going down this turn with the priority loss, and Skaven able to do the final 3 damage with those Storm Fiends.
Looks like he rolled 3d6 there and only a 4, so nothing.
So
possibly casting the vortex or something, maybe.
But it does look like all she wrote right now in this game.
Oh yeah, it's not going to matter because look at there's still those Storm Fiends, so the rest of the things on the board are dead. So there's absolutely nothing other than the 10 witches, you know.
Yeah, got some heroes in the top, but we also know with there's 4 Storm Fiends dead, they can also rally back, which just makes that unit is invincible now with what's on the table at this point.
Yeah, exactly, and it just does so much damage. It's very hard to do enough damage against them, to be honest. Like I said earlier, you need to do 26 damage or 27 damage before you even take out a gun, which is all of their output, which is just wild. And even then, like, yeah, there's so many little tricky things. Like, remember I told you when I played Anthony at Motor City, he pulled like turn 3, I didn't even see it coming. He just barely was within 6 of his knot hole, and there was like 4 fiends left, and then see you later over on the other side of the board where I couldn't touch them, couldn't get at them. And then, of course, yeah, rally in the next turn, bring 2 back or whatever. Like, yeah, the little tricks. And Anthony's very, he's played this list a lot. He knows the Storm Fiends well.
Yeah, sounds like we're still playing out this round actually. And Marathi potentially going down in the hero phase there because the Storm Fiends were able to move. So maybe, with the spell casting from the Arch Warlocks and taking down Marathi. That's probably what the early rolling was. And so it looks like they are playing out this turn to see exactly how it pans out. Redeploy from those Canary, just trying to keep safe if they can. And Thankful positioning to keep strapping on that objective.
Mm-hmm.
But got to kill one of the heroes to be able to take that objective back.
Yeah, he's probably just one gun's gonna rinse the 2, one gun's gonna rinse the hero, and the Windlaps are gonna shoot the Witch Elves. Charge Thankful into the heroes here.
Yep, and as Lance says in the chat, very bloody game. Especially on the Daughters of Khaine side, though we did see Marathi put a ton of damage into the Storm Fiends this past turn. But the unit's still there, and again, most of the firepower is untouched. Otherwise, it's just a couple of Scryer Acolytes that the only units that Anthony's fully lost.
Yep.
Yep. The Canary have died now. And we'll see. Yeah, probably just dealing some. Those long range guns might be going into like something like the Avatar or the Witch right in front of them.
Yeah, or the Witch Elves. Witch really? Elves? Yep. Good point, Dayton. Witch Elves? Witch Elves.
Just grinding the elves into the dust as much as possible, making sure there is nothing left to fight back.
Yeah,
And
Anthony makes a good point in the chat as well. This dock style list is what Storm Fiends were made to deal with. Best matchup I had this tournament. Yeah, so it was a great matchup for the Storm Fiends to be able to deal with. Has a lot of large units that you want to just destroy.
yep,
And then Marathi it's tough to play Marathi into things where you can unleash hell on her, or that can do those 3 wounds every turn
yep.
and have some type of shooting. So yeah, this was a tough one for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't get to see the Gavin All Star plays here, just being in a tough matchup. But did what he could, lost both priorities, which is really painful, as it always is when you're on the back foot. But
Yeah,
everything,
that's
matchup, obviously as Anthony said, in his favor, and things are going his way. So sure, he's a
I
happy
think
man.
that's probably even bigger is the priorities as well, right?
Yeah.
Like if he was able to win 2 or 3, that would have been a much different game.
Would have had more of a chance, obviously, to get back into it. Potentially get into the Storm Fiends earlier before they were able to take off the Bow Snakes. Bow Snakes potentially having 2 rounds of shooting into Thankful. That turn 2 priority. You said it at the time. Really interesting to think about what could have happened if Daughters of Khaine won that turn 2 prio.
Oh yeah, the bow snakes would have fully shot. Then they could have moved and fully shot again. Like yeah, it would have been really really good.
Oh, for
So
sure.
yeah, it was huge that Thank was able to go do what he did. But yeah, big for Anthony. That he's won what? He's 2-5-0s and a 4-1. So he's won what 14 of his last 15 games with the list. I think
Nice.
he's putting him down now finally. So RIP to the Storm Fiends. At least that's what he says. So we'll see. But
Yeah, new book
I know
around the
he's
corner, so very
he
excited to
wants
see
to
what
get
happens there.
into some other chaos stuff, which he's known for. I think Slanesh and some Zeech.
Nice, nice. But looks like the Slaughter Queen was just lifted. Thankful will take that objective. Giving him hold 1, hold 2, not hold more though. Did choose bring it down this round, obviously with Shadow Queen, knowing he was going to be taking it down. So that's got to be hold 1, hold 2, battle tactic, predator point, 2 predator points actually, because he is a prime hunter. So it's 6 points and 1 for killing a monster. So yeah, 7 for the round.
Yep, and he could have potentially burnt the top right if he did. I don't know if he did or not, but
I think at this point you don't need to.
yeah, those 2 aren't killing him.
Yeah, you're probably not getting to the other. Oh, maybe you are getting to them, but looks like it's still there at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess the witch elves can still do a little bit of damage, but yeah, they're if they charge into that, they are pew pew to death.
Most definitely.
Looks like he's going for bring it down on Thankful.
So he's gonna have a chance. Thankful, I think has taken a little bit of damage. So between the Avatar and the Melusai Iron Scale, I guess probably only one of them is going to get to activate unless they can trap him in combat. Or just with the
Yeah,
scurry away, as we saw last round.
yeah, you got to try to somewhat lock him in with that scurry away. I know that's happened to me before,
Yep.
or just kill the hero before he can scurry away. But harder with Thankful.
Yes, yes. Quite a bit.
What ended up happening in the rest of this? Oh, no, there would have been multiple 5-0s, right? What did Zach?
I
I
think
think
there were at least 2 or 3. So
because
this was the
Gavin's
highest seeded table though. So pretty much as long as neither of these players scored super low, or the winner of this didn't score super low, and it wasn't a super long drawn out game, which it clearly is not, then it was clear, I think, that they were going to be ahead.
yeah. I just mean for Anthony. So you still would want to score max because there's going to be other 5-0s.
Of course.
I think because yeah, Zach, like Gavin's buddy there that was playing Fire Slayers. I'm pretty sure he 5-0'd with Fire Slayers. I think I remember seeing that.
Sounds like we're going to see a little bit of action here going into Thankful in combat. The Iron Scale looks like charging in now. See if Gavin is able to take down Thankful here.
Go Avatar!
And
There's Elijah in the chat. 2 5-0s and 2 4-1s. Yeah, so there were just the two.
4 0-1s, so four wins and ties. Or
Ooh.
4 wins and a tie.
Yeah, because there were a ton of 4-1s, I imagine.
Yep. Lots.
I was a couple points ahead of him going into this game. And the Predator points guaranteed I was going to take it. Yeah, so that's always a good feeling too.
Yes. Yeah, that's very fortuitous matchup in that round 5. It's always nice to get that after a long tournament, walking into the top table, lots of pressure, but you'll find yourself in a positive matchup. It's always nice.
Yep, big time. And it's nice playing like Gavin playing here. Even if he loses, it's like you want to do as best you can because your buddy is the one is going to possibly be the other 5-0. That if he wins, say by 1 point, and you're like you just gave up and didn't deny that 1 extra point, like that stuff happens so often. It's crazy. Like I learned that very early on to not like make sure you finish your game and like get as many points as you can and not just give away points and things like that.
Yep.
Because it'll bite you in the butt or bite one of your close friends or someone that part of your club or things like that. So
yep.
Props for sure to like playing
out to
games
the
out.
end. Yeah, true end. Here, Thankful has used all their defense and roared the Avatar. So just waiting to see if they can take him down, get that broken ranks, that battle tactic, or sort of bring it down the battle tactic, and monster point as well. Sounds like the Avatar did go in and activate first and dealt 6 damage into Thankful. Sorry, 2 damage into Thankful, has 6 wounds remaining. Probably too much for the Iron Scale to handle.
6 left? Yeah, there's no way that she's doing 6 wounds. Because he did best day ever here as well, right? He's pretty much saved that. So 3-up save with a 5-up ward, no way.
Here the Iron Scale has used all her defense herself, just to try and survive in a fight back, but don't know that she'll be able to do enough.
Well, he's going to score, hold 1 and 2.
Yep, and sounds like that is it. So Daughters of Khaine store 2 points here. Bridge, yeah, bottom of round 2. Let's see where Prio goes.
Round 4, you mean?
Yeah, probably makes more sense than what I said.
I think you said round 2. Although this is a nice quick one. It's always that's one thing I know, Anth, with playing the Storm Fiends. It's like usually pretty quick games.
Yeah, I'm trying to update the scoreboard as well, so distracting myself.
Yeah. Give her, man. That's like I was saying, it's nice having those quick games. It's like you have time to do things and rest. Because thinking about armies and playing armies that go 5 rounds, have really a lot of things going on. It is draining after playing 5 games, or think about like LVO is 8 games as a top 8 after. It's just nuts.
Yep.
That stuff definitely is the thing.
Very intense. Looks like where has Prio gone to? Daughters of Khaine then, yeah. So Daughters of Khaine do win Prio. We'll be going into top of 4. Ridge, I think as our players roll this out here, we can probably start wrapping up the show. What do you think? Are there any key moments that you think could have changed the tide?
Yeah. Like we said, I think the turn 2 priority was by far the biggest.
But other than that, you obviously can't guarantee, you can't bank on priorities. Is there any other options for like? There was really no opportunity for David in this one, right? Like,
No, I think he played it like, as we know, the guy is an absolute monster. Always top. He won everything last year. ITC here.
Top ITC player. Both of them are top 3 right now in the ITC.
Yeah, big time because Anthony's been doing really well. Even the world chart, I think only Mike Stewart was above Gavin. So I'm pretty sure Gavin was second in the world for the rankings from last year. So yeah, we know Gavin, like he's an unbelievably good player. So and you can see it here, just with his movement, with everything. I think he played it right, but yeah, you need to win one of those priorities to be in the game with a list that does this much damage.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, when Anthony kind of wrote in the chat as well, this type of list is something, the Storm Fiends is something that wants to kill big units that do like bow snakes, like a giant, a Death Star unit. You want to be able to neuter those. Yeah. Whereas compared to, say, like a lot of smaller good units, like cheaper units. So yeah, I don't know. There might have been a couple small things that you could have done here and there, but I honestly don't even think that. Like
not really much of a chance in this one with how the priorities went.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, Arthur in the chat, 100%. You can tell just the way Gavin like moves his models. Yeah, it's very precise.
Very important.
Played the game quite a bit and understands it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But Rich, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Here, Anthony, as the players just finished out the last couple moves, Anthony does take this game, is going to take the big win here, go on to win the tournament, take that 5-0 as he so brilliantly deserves, showing that Skaven, again, here have a solid place in the meta. We'll see what the new book holds for them, but very exciting to see some of those armies that aren't always thought of to be very powerful, but doing very good against a strong army and actually having a very, very favorable matchup.
Yeah, big congrats to Anthony. I think you saw it too. The boys all bought him a cake. So you guys had some cake and some drinks after. It was a good celebration that I was very jealous to be a part of.
It was awesome. So very well deserved for Anthony. Davin doing the best he can in a tough situation. But again, both great players. And with that, we will wrap things up, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we'll see you all soon in another battle report.